So we're going to take a look at the marker pulse animation in a labeled graphic in Rise. Some people don't want this, apparently. This is an active thread on eLearning Heroes. Apparently, a lot of people want to turn this off. We've got 53 replies. The most recent reply. Oh, and it goes back 7 years. So this has been there since day one. I assume people, going back 9 or 10 years. I don't know when exactly Rise was launched, but I think people have had this issue since day one. Now, if we look at, this is the most recent reply from Articulate staff. Still a feature request. They say if your device is set to reduce motion, I guess it'll stop that animation, and we'll take a look at how they handle that in the CSS. Although I don't think many people are actually changing their device to say reduce motion. So we still don't have a real solution here. So I'll show you how we can fix it with CSS, and we're going to employ a new tool, or it's new to me. It's something from Slate eLearning, free plugin, and it helps you add CSS to your courses. It's a pretty cool tool. But let's first debug. First, we need to figure out where that CSS is coming from that is making that pulse animation. Okay, so we have one big image, and then we've got this. This is a button element, and then we've got the icon, and you can see right here, this is the element. It's a pseudo element. By the way, in my course, I show you how to make pseudo elements. A very sneaky way to get some custom design work in your courses. And here we see Articulate using it to get this pulse animation. Pretty cool. And we can see in the CSS, I've got the animation right here. So if I turn off, I'm just debugging here, I can turn off the animation. They named it Marker Pulse. And what we can do, we're just going to put a layer on top that just cancels out that animation. So I'm going to borrow this selector. Now, normally, we can just manually add CSS to our exported course, but this new tool from Slate, I'm going to open it here. It gives me a CSS editor. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this out, put it in a separate window. And I always prefix my classes with app. And then I'm going to paste in what I just copied, that selector. Oop, don't need that extra space. And the Slate editor CSS, it says it's a live preview. There's a slight delay, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do animation none. Okay, you can see it. It took like a second to update, but we have no animation. And then I'm also going to do display none. I don't want that circle showing it all. And animation none. It cancels out the all that calculating it's doing. So just to make sure it's not going to still use my CPU to calculate all that animation, we're going to do animation none, just to make sure there's nothing using my CPU for that animation. So we've successfully stopped our marker pulse animation. And the reason I like this issue, I've done some modified labeled graphics before. And probably the most modified one was this example. I changed it's actually just a background image that I styled with CSS to these little crime scene markers. And so if your branding calls for something super custom like that, it's just CSS. And by the way, if you're an instructional designer, I would encourage you to learn some CSS. If you don't, if you're new to coding or programming, and CSS, it's not even programming really. It's just style information. It's pretty easy to start learning, especially with something as simple as just turning off an animation effect. But okay, so back to the Slate plugin. I can see here it's got my current CSS. I can also, if I've saved some CSS, I can choose the file. I haven't even tried that out yet. And then quick settings, make sure automatic patching is turned on, because this is actually going to put that CSS in my exported course for me once I export it. And so actually, let's go back here. If I go to publish, most people are using an LMS. I'll hit publish. Now the moment of truth, I'm going to open my index.html. This is my course. And I can see I've got my labeled graphic here. Still functions. That's good. But there's no marker pulse animation. So the Slate plugin, it adds a file to my exported course. And then I'm done. And by the way, Rise or Articulate, or the theme system in Rise, it's a bit limited. They don't, for some reason, they don't let you add custom CSS yet. I feel like they may eventually add that feature. But until then, creating a themed component like this is the only true solution that I've come across.